The defendant's brother took the stand as well today, and it was interesting because you're mentioning a key witness for prosecutors, right? An eyewitness, which is direct evidence. Well, now the defense has their own direct evidence, apparently, from the defendant's brother. Let's take a listen.
What happens once Raul opens the gate?
When Raul opens the gate, he swings and punches my brother.
Does he actually make contact?
Yes, ma'am.
Where does he make contact?
In the face.
Do you remember right or left side?
I don't remember that, to be
That's
honest.
all right. How does Erin respond to that?
He punches him back.
And where is Erin when he throws that first punch that he throws?
He is still on the outside of the fence.
Where are you standing at that point?
At that point in time, I had just gotten out of the truck.
Is there anything obstructing your view or kind of in between you, keeping you from being unable to see what's going on?
No, ma'am.
What happens after that? Erin throws that punch.
After that, he threw a few more punches, and that was it.
About how long does this entire fist fight last between the two?
The whole thing couldn't have been no more than 25, 30 seconds.
Less than a minute?
Yes, ma'am, less than a minute.
How does it ultimately end?
It ultimately ended, my brother had hit him the last 2 times and we had left.
Where is Raul Ortiz when the whole incident is over?
Laying on the inside of his gate.
And how does he end up there?
He had fell, and when he had fell backwards into his gate.
All right, Dave, I see you chomping at the bit on this one.
No, this guy, it's his brother, so, consider the source. Meanwhile, the neighbor is not related to any of the parties. She said that it was the defendant who started the fight. And even if it was the victim who threw the first punch, it doesn't give you the right to keep pummeling the guy until he dies. I was waiting for the brother to say, this poor defendant, he had his fist hurt by the victim's head. I don't trust what he says.
Yeah, Michael, he really downplayed what was a deadly fight. I mean, it was just like 20, 30 seconds, and no big deal. We've done it many times before.
Yeah, he definitely downplayed it, Benny. I mean, I guess the question becomes, for the juries to look at, all of the potential biases and his mannerisms and whether or not they believe he's honest or not, or being honest or not, but he definitely downplayed it. He definitely downplayed it. And if you believe him, then you would have to believe that there was obviously no intent here and that this was a mutual combat sort of situation.
Yeah, the way I look at it, though, Holly, is they went to Raul Ortiz's house. It's not like they were, bumping into each other at the Circle K or the Dollar General. No, they got in the truck and they went over to his house.
Yes, Vinny, and if you go upstream from that, 2 or 3 other incidences occurred that could have prevented all of this, and Erin Robinson kept going. I've got major problems with the defense theory. I've got 3 major problems. 1, Erin Robinson testified in an earlier proceeding, but that was then introduced in this hearing today, testified that he was the one who told Mr. Ortiz that he was going to go mess him up, or something to the effect of, be a man, come fight me. Mr. Robinson took his shirt off. Then he called his friends as backup to the Dollar General parking lot. And then he testified in a hearing that his brother told him, don't do this, you're going to end up in jail. To which Mr. Robinson said, yeah, you're probably right. And then after Mr. Ortiz did not show up at the Dollar General to fight him in the parking lot, shirtless Mr. Robinson then drives to Mr. Ortiz's house. And then we're supposed to believe that Mr. Robinson did not want to fight after he had been disrespected by his father's girlfriend's boyfriend. I mean, there is so much here that I have a problem with the defense theory. It's really hard to believe this story.
Yeah, well,
Benny,
yeah, go ahead, Dave. Get the last word.
There's one thing I've learned in watching a lot of cops on TV. The guy you want to arrest is always the guy without the shirt.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I never got into one of those